Cowboys Nation. How the hell y'all feeling right now?
Yo, this is Neville Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it?
What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here with Kelly K9. Hopefully you guys had a very Merry Christmas. I know Christmas Eve sucks, so we'll talk about that a little bit, I guess, Kelly. We'll talk about it a little bit, but hopefully you guys are doing well. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share. We're just getting this party started. So, Kelly, before we get into some other promotional stuff where we get the show started, how you feeling, man? You're somewhere special.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm at the Jonesy neighborhood bar, Cuts by Jones. As you can see, the backdrop right here, the beautiful backdrop. Not only that, we got the coldest beer in the 210 in San Antonio right here, fresh off the keg tap. It's just it tastes like an ass whooping coming is what it tastes like. That's
what I want to hear, because we're going to get into it, and that's what we want to hear. But before we get started, I just got to say, Kelly, you've been traveling, so I don't know if you saw the love, but I got a couple things I want to say. First of all, the subscribers, we've grown every day. And of course, Kelly and I and the rest of the cave, we always like to give back. So we've got our next promotion, 3,000 subscriber. This is what you're going to get. Guest of our show, you're talking about one of the greatest Cowboys of all time, Mr. Cowboy himself. The Funko Pops, you saw the ones Kelly and I did. They're hot right now. We've got a Funko Pop signed by Bob Lilly, Hall of Fame inscription, Super Bowl champion inscription, All Pros, Pro Bowl, the whole 9 yards in there. So when we get to 3,000 subscriber, this is going to be yours. The legend himself, he signed it for us for the cave to give back. So that's one of the exciting things. Kelly, you may want to try and be the get in that.
Can I enter this contest?
Yeah, you should be able to enter it. Family members, maybe your sons enter it, something like that. We'll work something out. And the other thing is, I was blown away. One of our subscribers kind of hit me up and said, "Hey, man, you're at DallasCowboy.com. Mixed shots. They talked about the show, and Dave Campo was on there. So this is what happened, man. We love getting a little love, and here it goes. Check it out."
My mind, and that game was an aberration when Jags won last year.
Right.
I was on a podcast, a guy by the name of Mike Tag, who does a Cowboy podcast out of Tampa.
Okay.
He's a huge Cowboy fan. And the first thing I said was, well, when we talking about the Jaguars, I just did it again. Listen, I'm a Cowboy fan, you know that, but really, they're struggling.
So that was cool. Give Dave Campo a shout out. And, the last thing I'll say, Kelly, hopefully you're going to be able to make it. But tomorrow night, we're doing a Jimmy Johnson tribute. We are going to have so many people popping in. Jay Tuck's going to be coming in. Our man Greg, who brings it like no other with the hype as well, he's going to be popping in. Kelly, your ass better be here. I know you might have plans, but I'm sure you're going to make at least a cameo.
Yeah,
we might have Jerry stopping in. We've got messages and tributes from former players and coaches of Jimmy Johnson. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to have a good time tonight. But tomorrow night, we're going to be celebrating the man who really, helped bring the Cowboys back. And sure, we need to get back now. We'll move on to that. And to do that, Kelly, we got to bring in some special guests. We got to bring in, these guys are great. The Star We Are. We're talking about Jimmy and Landry. They're pretty much Jimmy and Landry himself. It might be them. Coming. What's happening, guys? How you doing?
How you doing, guys?
What's going on, fellas?
Good, good, good. Well, before we get started, let everybody know where they can find you. More importantly, where the hell did you find that Jimmy Johnson jacket?
Well, if I told you where I found this one, it might limit my chances on getting another one. So I won't share that secret. But where you can find Landry and myself, Jimmy J's Hair is on Twitter. We do have a little bit of an Instagram and TikTok going, just kind of small on other channels. We've only been rolling for about 6 months now. So Twitter is definitely our main handle. At the Star We Are. Got a couple little live game watches that we did on YouTube here and there, but not really kicking off our episodes yet. And when we do, we'd love to obviously reciprocate and have you guys on it if you wanted to. But yeah, absolutely. At the Star We Are on Twitter.
Well, more importantly, as well, as you guys are doing, is it done yet or not? Where are we at with you guys are doing a great charity fundraiser? Is that still going on? Did you guys sell out or what's happening?
We got that going on all the way up until probably the day before. The 7th is the drawing, so we'll probably cut the raffle on the January the 6th. So it's just the day. The drawing will be the day of the last game. Okay. Probably right there before it or something. And we're in the neighborhood of 200. Our original thing was 200 when Wanye was gracious enough to add the ball, and then the money. We figured, well, this is going to be bigger than that. Christmas was a little slow, I think, even all over the social media. So we're going to ramp that back up, start putting some more promotion out there, and try to keep driving that for another week or two.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool thing Wanye did. I challenged him to a game of Madden, and that's not a good idea. Listen, the NFL players are just good at Madden, okay? I mean, he smacked me. Dez has smacked me. I'm not even going to try to challenge any more of them. That's enough.
And it's funny, Mike. It all happened because of the game that we played, named that Cowboy. Where everybody tries to guess the Cowboys and so forth. Wanye happened to comment on that and answer Jalen Tolbert correctly. Yeah, there are people in the comments saying, "Wanye, what are you playing this game for, man? You play for the team. You don't need tickets." And that's kind of where the connection started. And then So cool.
Now, good job, man. Good job. So let's get into it. Kelly, do you want to look back a little bit, or are we going to look forward? I'm going to leave it up to you.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I hate looking back, man. But at the same time, there are a few things, man, that I think that I would at least like to talk about in this game. The first and foremost, man, is the first thing that really rubbed me the wrong way was that I started seeing this thing during the game, before it's even over, before the fourth quarter drive that Dak had, that the defense couldn't. I started seeing a lot of people, man, and they just really started shitting on Dak, and it was pissing me off, man. It was pissing me off because I don't get it. I mean, I watched that game, and I've watched a lot of games, and you know me, Mike. I've come out. I've been critical of Dak. I've called him out. I've said, I've said, hey, man, he had a terrible game. This is not the guy. He ain't gonna be able to get it done for us if he keeps playing like this. He's got to step it up. Like, I've been the first one to jump on and be critical, but if I just don't understand how anybody with two sets of eyeballs could watch that game and think that any of it had to do with Dak Prescott. Like, not even a little bit. If there was a chart, a scale of 1 to 10 on how much blame he gets, I'm giving him 0, because he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't turn the ball over. He kept us in that game. He kept us moving. We had penalties that caused things. We had a fumble that took away points off the board. We had, for whatever reason, our play caller decides to just go away from CeeDee Lamb and take him completely out of the game, even though in the first quarter it seemed like he was going to go for 200 yards. Saw Amari Cooper go for 265. I think CeeDee Lamb said, hold my beer, I'm going to go for 300. And then we just go away from him and then bring him back, and then he starts coming back in the fourth quarter. We start bringing him back into it. I don't know what the hell was going on in that game, but Dak Prescott played good that game. It was our defense that could not hang on, and there was a lot of other things, but I just wanted to get you guys' opinion right. Yeah. What's you guys' reaction when you're watching that? What are you thinking in terms of, the whole Dak Prescott thing,
Yeah. Well, guys, if you want to jump in, then I'll give my thoughts. Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll give Prescott I couldn't do a 0. I could do a 1 or a 2 just because of a couple of missed reads. But the point is, it's way low on the scale and nowhere near the top of the things to blame.
Right.
We've had a couple of posts recently. And again, I'm really trying to stay away from, the referees are not the reason that the team lost, but the refereeing is bad. That's all. But it's been bad all over the NFL. So I'm not really trying to go to that. The fumble hurts really bad. I hate to blame the entire game on one play, even though it's bigger than just the fumble and the points. It's at the beginning of the game where you start, you get to play from ahead, and a lot of things that would have helped us out. So, yeah, it doesn't mind. I mean, I'll leave some meat on the bone there.
Yeah. And just to get to that point of not ref blaming it, because some people have obviously
watch it.
On some of those posts. I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to ref blame. If we didn't win the game, it's because we lost the game. I don't care. No striped shirt, no yellow flag had anything to do with that. So we just wanted to be better across the NFL in general. Micah not having a holding call since week 5 or 6, that's mathematically not even really possible. So those kind of things have to be different. But as far as the game goes, Dak's blame is obviously very low. He played great. And you're right, Kelly. I'm going to go with playmaker on this one. As far as blame chart goes, when CD is looking like he is, it looked like, and I told Lynn, we were watching the game together, I told him, I said, they can't contain him. He's fixing to be a problem all game. After his third catch, I said, this is fixing to get bad. It could get ugly for him because they're not going to know what to do with him, and it's going to open up so many other things. And then regardless of the play calls, if CD wasn't the first read on some of the calls in the second, Mike McCarthy has to just make an adjustment and say, look, CD's now read number 1. Whatever read number 1 was, then 2. He's read number 1 now, then you go down the list. Because he's so open. And I wouldn't have a problem if we went away from him because he was doubled, tripled. They're bracketing him. They're taking him away. But when we see replay after replay of him standing wide open and still not getting the ball, and he's got no targets, then it gets, what do we do?
Yeah. I mean, I think that, for me, with Dak, I don't give him any of the blame. But what I do give blame to is offensive line and running game. Offensive line was terrible. I mean, I think a lot of I know Claudio's a Dolphins fan. He's a longtime friend of mine, so he wanted to remind me it was Chubb in their defense. And I would say that they own the line of scrimmage. And our offensive line, Steele, a little disappointing, but really with Chuma in there, he blocked. It looked like he was blocking him, and then he went totally inside. So a lot of the problem, maybe getting CD the ball sometimes was Dak was getting killed. This was the most pressure he's seen in years, they said. And then the other thing to me is, and Kelly and I have talked about it, and I'm not beating a dead horse. I'm not dogging Pollard because I love Pollard, and I think we took away what made him special, and we've never replaced. People don't want to hear it. We never replaced Zeke, whatever way you were going to do it. But we don't have a banger. We don't have that. Yeah. And you're trying to make it with Pollard, and it's just not there. And he either just doesn't have the juice, he's getting worn down or whatever, but he's not running the ball. I mean, they're not running the ball at all. We ended up with 4 yards of carry, something like that. So people, the statisticians are going to say, oh, well, we ran the ball good. Well, Dak had a bunch of the yards. CD had 9 yards. I think Turpin had a 6-yard carry. Pollard was, I think, 3.2. Rico was 1 point something, and he only had like 2 carries or something like that. To me, you got to run the ball to really get the passing game going. Maybe I'm too old school for that, but I think that was one of their problems. They never got the run going the way they needed to on the offense.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I thought that that not only did they not run the ball well when they did get the opportunity to score. You got Lipke with a fumble, but the fumble doesn't even happen if Pollard just runs that ball to the pylon. I don't know why he cut in there and tried to take it in from where he took it in. He had the angle. He's got the speed. If he runs to the pylon, that's a touchdown, and you and I got to worry about Hunter Lipke fumbling the ball on that next play. But yeah, I just overall, it was not great. And I know Cam had said that, about the defense, that, it wasn't on the defense. I agree. The defense did do a great job. But what I will say about that defense is when you get a lead in the fourth quarter in a game like that, you expect your top tier defense, if we are that, to be able to shut them down and stop them and keep them from getting that go ahead field goal. And we could not stop them. They got first down after first down after first down, and they just drove that ball, and we had to run our timeouts, and they were able to kick a ball with time running off the clock. We sit there, we give Dak Prescott all the blame if he can't get the lead in the fourth quarter and say, hey, he can't get us the lead, he can't get us the lead. Well, what good is getting the lead if your defense can't get the stop? Yeah. So I was very disappointed in the defense on that aspect. I thought they played good for the most part. I thought they held Tyreek Hill in check. That run game didn't, run through us by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
But the thing is, that's the difference between them and us, though. When they needed to chew clock and run the ball, they were able to do it successfully. We ain't been able to do that.
And that's what's going to. That's right. You know, you and I said that's what's going to get you in the playoffs. But the other thing too is undisciplined penalties. I mean, you have a face mask on that last drive. I mean, that puts them near midfield. I mean, game over. I mean, and then you have a third down convert. How many third down conversions? They had a couple third down conversions, and I think everyone and their brother knew that Tyreek Hill was going to get that one where Jordan Lewis kind of slipped. But I mean, it was going to go to Tyreek Hill. You saw it was set up that way. The Dolphins are a great offense, but if you're going to tell me, if you would have told me, Kelly, 5 field goals, we're going to keep the running game under 100 yards. I'm going to the Hard Rock down in Fort Lauderdale now that they legalized gambling and betting, and I'm going to call Uncle Cheech. I'm saying, hey, call your bookie because I'm going to bet the house on it. I would have lost my house. But everything that we asked for on last week's show, we did.
Yeah.
Except win.
Yeah. Run defense was improved for 3 quarters, you know.
Yeah.
At least effort-wise, run defense effort was, and the Tyreek Hill thing. That guy's like a cheat code for a first down at the end of the game. There, it's just amazing because nobody can run to him to try to make a tackle. They've got to wait on him. So,
no, I mean, but the Dolphins are good, and the thing is, I don't want to go too far back, Kelly, but get your opinion, and guys, get yours. I know a lot's being made out of the road losses. Now, call me a homer if I get too far, Kelly. You can be my guys. You guys do it. Our road schedule not so easy. I mean, let's just be real about it. We've lost 5 road games. 4 of our road games at San Francisco, at Miami, at Buffalo, right? At Philly. I hate to say that. 4 of those teams, all playoff teams on the road, all 4 were underdogs. If we win one of those, which we outplayed Philly, like you win that one, the story would be a lot different. But they didn't, and of course that's going to be hung over them. But look at that schedule. It's not. I mean, that's why I'm not going to get too worked up into the road, all these road woes and all this crap. But they definitely need to play better on the road. Don't take me the wrong way. But I mean, any thoughts on that, Kelly? Am I off base?
No, I mean Philly. I think got all them opponents that we got at home. You know what I mean? They got to play Miami at home. They got to play the Bills.
I think Miami was in Miami. Bills were.
Was that one in Miami?
But Miami was missing their entire secondary. Let's just be clear about that.
Their top 2 cornerbacks. Ramsey wasn't in that game. That's right. But still, they got the Bills at home. They got a lot of their tougher opponents they got at home. So their home schedule was pretty much loaded with a lot of the top tier guys that they had to play. They got them at home, whereas most of ours was on the road. Our road schedule was pretty brutal, which, thanks Roger Goodell. We appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah. That was almost like we were in the Super Bowl or something.
That's just kind of the way that goes. But, I don't know. It's just frustrating, man, to watch this, when you watch these games and you see the penalties in the game and I'm going to, like Jimmy's hair, I'm going to say, I'm not sitting there and blaming it on the refs. But I also can't sit there and ignore the fact that it seems like there is some absolute there's something going on there. I mean, Michael Parsons not getting a holding call since October 16th is fucking ludicrous, man. Excuse me, YouTube.
No, that's not even
an F-bomb, but it's true. It's true, right?
No, that's not even a possibility. So
yeah, no, I mean, if somebody would have told me, like Mike said, if somebody would have told me I could make that bet in Vegas, that was a prop bet, I would have go ahead and put the house on that and said, ain't no damn way. And then after every single game, there's frame after frame after frame of Michael Parsons getting held. Of Michael Parsons, I mean, literally held by the face mask in one of them. They've got him around the face mask, and it's like, no, nothing to see here. That's not, And I think it was one of you guys that tweeted all the different frames from the Dolphins game and I don't know who put it together, but
not sure who
Michael Parsons of all these holding calls that didn't get called. And I'm just like, it's discouraging because it feels like the Cowboys don't get those calls, and I feel like other teams do, and that's what gets frustrating after a while.
Correction, Kelly, Miami was in Philly. I was wrong, but they still were missing their second. And for some reason, I thought it was.
Well, I was going to say, I thought that when I looked at that schedule, that Philly had all their top guys. They played them at home, but
it is one was San Francisco.
As far as the flags go, and then I'll kind of touch on the road issue. It just the flags feel like the most inopportune times, right?
Always.
Like when Micah hits Tua, it's a third and long, and it just puts them right in position to go ahead and continue a score drive when they were just about out of field goal range. So those things turn into points. So, anyways, I'll get off of that. We'll go just.
Well, I was going to ask with Parsons and the holding, and a lot of this frustration builds up. it's blatant. I don't understand it. I can't figure it out, whatever it is, but
it's happening. Yeah.
it's happening. I mean, you can't deny it, but there's bad calls. I'm sure if you were on the other side, some Miami guys might point out some calls. I mean, I saw CD's ass cheeks on one play, and there was no flag on that one. So I don't know what they're seeing, what they're doing, but it's definitely a problem. It's definitely something they got to look into. But I want to get your thoughts, Kelly, and then obviously you guys on the comments Parsons made some headlines. So we all saw San Francisco they took a beating to the Ravens. And as fans, we like that. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't like the 49ers. The reason I don't like them is because they're fans. Their fans are mean to me. They always come at me. We don't even play, and they still come at me. It's like they come out of the woodwork anytime we lose. They harass me on TikTok. I can't even enjoy TikTok. I have to post my video and never go back again because they annihilate me. So we like it. But what I would say is Parsons put a tweet out making fun of the 49ers, and that's your MVP quarterback and da-da-da. Is that – I mean, we got our ass kicked by him. I don't know if that's something that you would do. It's like when you get your ass whooped and then you see the guy, who beat your ass get his ass whooped, you're all in his face like making fun of him. So I don't know. I mean, what's your thoughts on it, Kelly, and guys want to get your take?
My thing always to that has been, and we have yet to do that with the 49ers. So my whole thing is that if you talk shit, you better be able to back it up. Like that's I'll use it as a boxing analogy. The reason why I always used to be a fan of the way that Floyd Mayweather talked was I love talking shit. That's what I do. I love talking shit. But you also got to be able to back it up. You can't just say it without, and he would do that. And he was, undefeated his entire career, never lost. And so
no doubt.
Michael Parsons, you can talk it, but you better be able to back it up, because my thing is if we see the 49ers and we see them in the playoffs, and whether it's the NFC Championship game or earlier, they're going to remember that you said that. And I promise you, if we get our asses whooped by the 49ers, and if it's Brock Purdy throwing, 4 touchdowns versus 4 interceptions, social media is coming after you. They're going to clip that, and you're going to have to hear it, and you're going to have to eat that. And so, if you're going to be able to talk a big game, you better back it up or be able to be humble about it when it comes around to bite you back in the ass. So I don't mind that he said it, but I don't know. Me personally, after we've gotten our ass whooped 3 times in a row by the Niners, I'd probably be a little bit more quiet and just let my talk on the field speak for me when the time comes. So I don't know. You guys let me know what y'all think.
So here's what I think. I don't mind it, right? Like bump. If you're gonna bump, like he knows he's that good. He knows our team is capable of beating the 49ers. I believe we are. They've got our number for whatever reason. I don't mind the talking. Talk on the podcast, talk in the locker room. Where I want you to talk the most is pregame, during the game, halftime, postgame, on the sideline to your own teammates. Talk to them, Micah, because let me tell you, training camp, when that guy crawls around on the ground doing his line thing and doing his thing, it gets our fans energized. It gets the players energized. And we see it a little bit at home, but on the road, I want to see Micah going and pushing shoulder pads, yelling in people's face, being that young lion and being that big energy that he is to his guys on the sideline. Every time he's on the sideline, when his unit isn't on the field, be that energy every minute on the sideline. We need that Lawrence Taylor energy, that guy who's going to give us that spark, right? So I don't mind the bumping. It's just got to come at the right times, and it feels like on the road we get a little bit of a lack of that. We see Micah Moore get on the field and then kind of go off and sit, and then get back on the field and go off and sit. Right. I want to see him up. I want to see him moving. I want to see him pushing guys. We need to hold each other accountable, tell each other how good we are throughout the game.
Yeah. So, and he's building his brand. I mean, he does his podcast, so he's going to talk. And I mean, it is what it is. He's the best. To me, he's the best pass rusher in the NFL. If not, he's arguably top 3 if you want to argue it. But he's phenomenal. I just cringe on some of those things. And that's just a fan. And like I said, I'll say it. I was cheering for Baltimore to beat their ass. It made me so happy that day. It made me happy when I saw the Eagles struggling against the Giants. But we're fans. I mean, I mean, I don't have to answer to the shit talking, really. I mean, I can say what I say, and I'm going to go to work the next day. Yeah. I think for as a player, especially when this team is, they've had our number. I mean, we can't hide that. I just would be a little cautious of giving them adding any fuel to the fire.
Well, they don't need any ammunition because, like you said, I mean, these guys are
They're loaded.
and that's the other thing too. Somebody mentioned something. I saw somebody say something in the chat. These new age guys, they're kind of soft, and they're not. It doesn't seem like mentally that a lot of these guys are built like some of these old guys. So you've seen guys on Twitter, athletes, man. These are dudes that play in the NFL. Delete their social media accounts because of how people come for them. Like, you got to understand, social media is a brutal place, man, and it's one of those. Is that. What was it, Varsity Blues? OTSS, only the strong survive. Like that's kind of like social media, man. Like, you got to have a strong-willed personality to be able to shake it off when these people are saying it. So Micah kind of puts a target on his back. And so, I mean, as long as he's okay with that, and as long as he's mentally fortified enough to deal with the backlash of what will come, if it doesn't work out in your favor and the things you say, then cool, man, go ahead and do it. But I mean, for me, I don't really have a problem with it. I would just prefer to see him kind of back that up on the field every single Sunday to where there's no question, like, who the best, like, because he's got that. He's got the capabilities to do that. He's got the talent to do that. Whatever. But, build your brand, man. I'm all for it.
I mean, I get it. It's the way it is. But, hey, I want to get into the Lions. We're going to get into that in 2 seconds. Like, you got to bear with me. Those of you guys who don't watch the show on Monday, we got our man. He's a Vegas Insider, Uncle Cheech. He's in. You can't leave Uncle Cheech waiting too long because I end up with people knocking on my door wanting me to answer some questions, and we don't want any of that. So we're going to bring in the legend, Uncle Cheech, Vegas Insider, one of the best, best guys. If you want to make some scuttle, as we like to say, he's the guy that you want. So let's bring him in. Uncle Cheech, we got a full crew here tonight. How you doing?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, you see, you got Jimmy and Landry here.
I
we got
only
the crew.
Needed 2. I told you 2. Didn't I tell you that last week?
You did say that, and you're very lucky that I'm allowing you back in the cave after you disrespected our Dallas Cowboys. But it's business. I understand. It's nothing personal. It's just business. So I got to be able to look past.
I don't care. I'm in it for the money.
When the field goal went through for Miami, I'm telling you, man, I've been telling you, I wanted to do that Godfather scene where he grabs him and kisses Fredo and he tells him, I know it was you. I know it was you, Cheech. I know it was you.
I told you guys.
It was a good game.
It was a good game. It was a good game. Hey, look, man, if you bet with Uncle Cheech, you made some money.
Yeah.
If you bet with Uncle Cheech, you made some money. Unfortunately, I did not.
I think I'm 13-4 on my locks.
You're now 13-4. Gambling is legal in Florida, so I may be making some bets after this week and see what you got. But Uncle Cheech, what are we looking at this week? What are you seeing?
Okay, this week I got New Orleans at Tampa Bay. I'm going to take Tampa Bay, giving 3. They're playing pretty good. They're playing pretty good right now. Baker's playing real well. So I'll take Tampa Bay, give it 3.
All right. And so you're basically saying that Tampa's going to win the South. So that pretty much will cinch the South for them. They will.
I don't know. As long as they win the game.
They win the game. They win the division. So that's it.
Yeah, then they'll win.
They'll be hosting it. All right. What do we got? We got the Jets and the Browns. Jesus.
Jets stink. Browns got a good defense, probably the best in the league. The old quarterback's playing good.
Yeah.
He is. Flacco's found the fountain of youth.
So I'll take Cleveland minus 7.5 at home.
All right.
At
home. Now this one would be interesting. You probably got the upset of the week. I'll let you say it, then I'll give my comment.
Upset of the week. I'm going to take New England plus 12.
That's a lot.
At Buffalo.
Oof. That's a lot. Now your upset of the week that's one if you got some extra money that you throw it on it. Not telling you that you go run out and bet that one, right? Is that the rules of that one?
No, I wouldn't. But no. You can see it. But I think New England's won the last 2 out of 3. I mean,
they play them. It's weird. It's a divisional game. They play them a little rough. What are you thinking, Kelly, when you see these You got any of this stick out to you?
No, I mean I don't see anything that that all looks good. I mean, I might go and call the bookie up right now. I already took a screenshot of it, so I just need to learn to listen to Uncle Cheech, and maybe I'd have nicer things.
Yeah, and Jimmy and Landry, anything? I hear you guys. Some things throw you off.
No, not at all. I mean, it all looks good. Just surprises, right?
Hey, I like that fedora. I used to wear one.
Surprising for the Browns.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's
12 points anytime. Being a 12-point dog anytime is unbelievable.
Well, that's the thing with the NFL. You just got to watch it. But Uncle Cheech, you like the fedora? Is that what you said?
I like that fedora. I used to wear one of them years ago.
We got a question from the audience here. We got Cam asking.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Don't steal the thunder, Kelly. We're gonna get it right after this last one. Lock of the week. This is where you make your money. 13-4. It's almost a guarantee. You got Rams giving up 6.5 at the Giants.
At the Giants.
That's it.
Giants got no quarterback. Rams are playing for a spot.
Yeah.
The Giants are playing for a draft pick, so they're probably going to want to lose anyway. Rams win this game. Rams are playing good.
No, Rams are playing good.
I told you guys, I said it's the end that counts. I don't care if they got killed week 2, week 4, week 5. They're winning now.
Let's comment. And you don't think the Rams are going to beat us. Don't get me started. You want to fight?
When do you play them?
In the playoffs. If we played them in the playoffs, do you think they could beat us?
Depends where you're playing.
I don't give a shit if we play them out in the schoolyard somewhere. Do you think?
I'll let you know if that game comes about. I got to assess everything, the injury.
I just saying.
Uncle Cheech. We could play the Rams in a lake, in a tree, in a palace. They ain't beating Dallas. It ain't happening.
The thing I'll say with the Rams, and I don't know you guys, and we're going to get to the BCS or whatever it is now, the playoff picks next. But I hear the Rams. And I'm hearing it. And I think now I'm going to be preface this by saying I think the Rams beat Philly. I think they beat Philly because I think Philly stinks. But I'm just saying the Rams, look at who they beat and just let's calm down. It's the same thing with Tampa. I live in Tampa. I got these idiots telling me that Tampa's so great. Tampa went to the wire with the Falcons. They barely beat the Panthers. I mean, let's calm down.
They got Baker Mayfield as their quarterback.
I don't care if they barely beat somebody or beat the hell out of them. The win's the win. That's what counts, right? It doesn't matter if you win by 40 or you win by 40.
I get it. I just they anoint these teams. Kelly, am I wrong?
You're not wrong. There's not a team. Baker Mayfield ain't beating the damn. Baker Mayfield led team.
If they beat you by 1, they beat you by 1. If they beat you by 20, or vice versa.
Now I'm not scared of the Rams or the Bucks.
No, not at all.
Neither.
We heard that crap last time.
Double digits.
Yeah.
All I heard was a bunch of wine in here while I'd watching you guys tonight. That's all I heard.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Cheech?
This one did that, and he should have caught this. He pulled his pants down, saw the crack of his ass.
Did you or did you not?
Hey, now that we did see that.
I'll send you the picture.
You take it like a man. I told you, you're in the playoffs. It's the end that counts. Don't worry about this one game.
Nah. All right.
That's right. That's right. Don't worry about the one game. On to the next.
Dolphins got bigger fish to fry. They got to play Baltimore, and then they got to play Buffalo next 2 games.
No, I get it. So let's talk about. We got so many people on here. We got all these questions. You got Alabama. You got Michigan. You got Washington and Texas. Give us your picks. Give us the spread. What is it looking like, Uncle Cheech?
I'm going to take the warm weather teams. I'm going to take Alabama. When I checked last, I think it was 1.5.
Wow, that's it?
They're underdog. Alabama.
They're underdog?
Underdog.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would take that all day.
I'll take Alabama. I mean, look at the resume. The only game they lost is another team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Number 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take them, and I'm going to take, I think Texas is given 4 against Washington. I'll take the warm weather teams all day. Texas wins.
Boy.
Alabama wins.
You're really trying to piss Kelly off today.
Oh, you don't like Texas?
No, man. I'm a Texas Tech fan. I can't root for Texas. I see that. I'm sorry, guys. I know there's some Longhorn fans around here. I see that burnt orange, and I want to vomit. I got Fred over here yelling at me from the side.
My team's got to play tomorrow with the third quarterback, and they're going to lose to Rutgers. You know what an embarrassment that's going to be?
No, I know. I don't want to think about it.
Hey,
Kelly, Uncle Cheech said you don't like Texas, but do you like green? What do you like more?
I'm going to tell you.
Well, I do like green.
Everybody throws yellow, but their favorite, the red flag, this and that, but their favorite color is green when it's all said and done.
Yeah, my favorite. I do like green unless it's on a Philadelphia player's jersey, and then I hate it. It makes me want to vomit.
Follow my formula since day one. You be at 13-4 right now, way ahead of the game, way ahead. Nobody in this country is at 76%. Nobody.
No.
I don't give a shit who you call. You call ESPN, STP, Revive. What's his name?
Jimmy the Greek,
bring him out of the dead. He's not even at 76%.
Oh man! Well,
everybody, all the viewers, they know where to get the information. You know, we got the inside lock on the Vegas Insider, Uncle Cheech. So if you want to win that money, go ahead and place your bets.
Next year you follow my formula. Next year you follow my formula, my rules to live by, and I guarantee you, at the end of the year, you'll be putting money in the bank. Maybe even have enough to get that new Toyota.
Well, hey, Landry and Jimmy, we got another Jimmy, a Falcon fan. He's been on hiatus, been on vacation. We thought he's been hiding because his team's been getting their ass whooped. But Jimmy, where the hell are you?
Well, first of all, I'm back here, and Uncle Cheech. First of all, thanks, Uncle Cheech. Jimmy Dee's paying the rent. I got the finest bottles of wine, the finest bottles of champagne, Italian leather shoes. I got it going on. But Uncle Cheech, you know I show you respect. But you almost stepped on my toes a little bit by suggesting that the Buccaneers are going to run away with the South, because when the Aints beat them this weekend and we beat the Bears, we turn around and beat the Saints the following week, we're going to take the division and we're hosting round one. Put money on it.
Well, you want to keep that money? You better not take that game.
Look again, I'm not going to show disrespect to my Uncle Cheech, but stepping on my toes a little bit this time.
No, nothing personal, only business. Business.
Strictly business.
Oh, well, that's good, Uncle.
That's what Tom Hagen told Sonny.
That's right.
Oh, well, Uncle Cheech, we're going to get on to some other stuff. Jimmy, you hang if you want. Uncle Cheech, we'll see you next Monday. Or, no, it won't be Monday. It's January, so it'll have to be Tuesday.
Just to make you feel better. Make you feel better. I wouldn't be too concerned about Saturday night.
No, we're going to get into it now. I'm not worried about that game at all. We're going to get into it now, but I think Dallas is going to respond. They're at home. That's where they play well, so we'll see. But Uncle Cheech, no hard feelings. No hard feelings. All right, we'll see you.
All right, guys.
Grazie, mi piace. A presto.
Well, that was good. Well, Jimmy, we got Jimmy Johnson and Tom Landry here. This is what the show does. We bring out all the stars. And all the legends.
I thought it was Tommy DeVito's manager for a second. But you know what? Hey, first of all, and in all respect, you guys are doing great. I'm going to listen to the whole show. I had to jump in. I missed this past Monday. And
I know Christmas messes it up.
Christmas messed up. But the week before, look at, man, I wasn't ducking the fact that my Falcons lost and choked to Carolina. I was in the middle of BFE between Memphis and Nashville. I couldn't make it. And, that's life. But I'm not going to keep you. I know we got to talk about Detroit and the Cowboys, and that's not my forte. But at the end of the day, the big thing you guys were talking about earlier is the running game, and that's honestly, if I'm a Cowboys fan, the only thing I'm concerned about right now is the running game and the ability to sustain. You're in the fourth quarter, you got a lead, which Falcons fans know about, which you're supposed to run the ball. And we didn't back in the Super Bowl. You got to be able to grind it out, run the ball, chew some clock, get some first downs. And that's the only thing I'd be worried about right now.
Yeah.
If you guys don't make the playoffs, maybe we could borrow Bijan for a little bit.
Yeah, can you cut him or trade him?
A couple of games. We'll give him back. We'll keep him at our place. It'll be like Debo said, the beach cruiser. You keep it at our place, but you can use it when you need to.
Hey, how you enjoying your time, with Cuts right now?
Listen, I'm drinking keg beer. Cold keg beer. I think glass number 3. I don't know, but Come on, man. He's the best host in all of San Antonio.
Absolutely. And one other comment. Like I said, I'm going to let you go. I know you guys got more important things to talk about with Detroit and Dallas this weekend and Jimmy Johnson and the ROH. Long overdue. But that being said, Parsons and running his mouth. And look at Mike and I, we're brought up on Mike Tag and I. We've been trash talking our whole lives. We grew up on that, and that's what we are. But you don't want to poke the beast. And like you said, that's some stuff I'd be picking and choosing that a little bit right now if it was me. But hey, you know what? Purdy threw his 4 INTs. Mike Tag knows I'm not a Niners fan, but I'm a Brock Purdy shill. He got rolled this past week. The 49ers got rolled this past week. They're vulnerable, and it is what it is. But I'd still, dial that down for a hot minute.
Yeah. No, I agree. Absolutely.
I agree.
Hey, Mike Tag, real quickly, are we doing a show on New Year's Day? Or
New Year's Day? I mean, we'll see. We'll talk about it. I'm not doing nothing. We can if you want to, or do Tuesday because fantasy football is pretty much done after this week. Kelly and EJ are the championship. We'll talk about that, but that's what's doing. So,
and I'm like in dead last. So, hey, great show. I'll talk to you later in the week, guys.
Take care, Jimmy. Good to hear from you.
You Jimmy.
All right, see you, brother.
Take it easy.
Oh, we got everyone popping. This is what happens the holiday season. I apologize, guys. We got to get everyone, show everyone some love. But now let's get on to the business at hand. The business at hand, and I'm seeing in the chat, Mark's worried. Some people are worried about the Lions. They want to make a statement. They want to do this. They want to do that. Let's start with our guest. So we always what is it? You see this game come up. What's your initial reaction, initial thoughts?
So I'll take it. Just watching throughout the season. I'll go pre-Jerry announcement, right? Pre-Carolina week, pre-whatever. I'd like to say we had a little something to do with putting a fire under his butt. I think one of our biggest tweets that we have to date was, hey, let's break this curse and get Jimmy in the Ring of Honor. And then it was 10 days later, Jerry decides to show up in North Carolina at noon and go on TV and say, hey, wait, everybody, I got something to say. So that was awesome. But so pre-Jerry saying that, I would have said close like the Miami game, last possession. Whichever team gets this ball last has the offense to get it done and finish out as long as you got the lead, right? The Miami only needed a field goal. Our run defense is weak, the big flag. I think if we had got that touchdown, we hold on to the lead, then they need a full 8. Then our stellar defense, like Kelly was talking about, take care of business. I would have said the Detroit game would be something similar. Now that my man is going in the Ring of Honor on that night, I don't care if San Francisco's coming to AT&T. There's not a team on the planet that's beating us that night. And I just really feel like that. I was talking to a guy, I won't call him by name, who goes to all games, and he said one of the biggest energy he's ever felt was when Jimmy went into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I was there. That was huge. I was there.
Right. And we smashed whoever it was, right?
Philly
killed him.
Best.
So Detroit doesn't stand a chance. Not on December 30th. Not after that ceremony. Not after that announcement. Not after the emotion and the energy in that building with every alum you can name being there.
Yeah.
We might win by 30.
On top of how we played at home, on top of how we played at home to begin with, that we've already discussed, and then a little more down to earth with me. I think the Lions are a well-rounded team, right? I think they are pretty good all over the board. So it's there's challenges there, like you said. We'll get into some of those, but that's where Jimmy's been from the beginning. As soon as he heard he was going in, we can't lose on the 30th. So
and we won't.
I hope so.
No. Well, we had a guest pop in, and then she popped out. So we'll see if she comes back. But yeah, no. And Kelly, what's your initial thoughts on the Lions when you get this game? You're going to be there, so go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with our guests here. I mean, I think that one, the fact that me and you were in the house, I mean, that's a nail in the coffin already.
It seems
then we're bringing reinforcements. We got Fred coming. We got and then Jimmy Johnson. He's going into the Ring of Honor, and you got all the Dallas Cowboys that former Cowboys that'll be there to see that. And I just think that for one, what would be nice is if they let Jimmy go into the locker room pre-game. You know what I mean? And give a little speech to the players, and just maybe like them know, man, what it takes to win multiple Super Bowls right before we get into this playoff run that we're about to make. We got 2 more games left, so go in there and give them one of those speeches that just like has these guys coming out and running through the Detroit Lions like like Taco Bell through my intestines on a Saturday night after I've been drinking all night. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, let's just run through Detroit and take care of business, because then we got the Washington Commanders. We know what's going to happen with them. Ain't nobody worried about Washington Commanders. So no, I love it, man. I think that it's going to be a great night, and I think it's going to be capped off by a really good win.
Well, it's going to be good, and we got another guest. And Kelly, I should probably have you introduce her, because if I say it, someone will clip it. I'm a married man, but Slammin' Sammy is in the house. So let's get her in here. How are you doing?
Good. How are you guys? Sorry, I'm so late.
That's all right. Fashionably late. You're welcome to pop in anytime. Anytime you come to the cave, the door's always open. So we've had different people popping in. But first of all, let everyone know where they can find you. Make all those introductions.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty basic. Just Slammin' Sammy on Twitter and the Star We Are, and that's all there
Part of
is
the
to
crew.
me.
Part
Yep,
of the crew.
just the crew. Yep. Sorry, I'm
what's
really
your...
shy. So if I'm say something dumb, it's because don't mind me.
Well, pull yourself together. You're on the cave. You gotta let it out a little bit. Relax. Get yourself a cold drink before you come on the show. But
what's have about 3 or 4 of these, and it won't matter what you say. You just gotta forget you even said anything the next day. So that's what I do.
What's your thoughts on the game?
So, I don't know. You guys have way better opinions than I do, because I was listening during Miami, and I mean, you guys said everything I thought and then some, but...
Well, that didn't work.
Well, yeah, kind of. I don't think the Lions are going to play around. I think that they have great potential this year. I think that this is one of the best teams I've seen them in a while. I am definitely nervous about the run game. Jahmyr Gibbs is a beast. He's done me very good in fantasy. And Montgomery, I don't doubt them at all as much as I should. I hope we can come back from the loss, but I know that we have a lot on the line after all the slander they've been taking and all of what happened last game. I know you guys said they weren't to blame, but my expectations are a little bit more. I feel like some of the things my little self could have done, but then again, I've never played football, so don't let me talk out of my ass here. And I think you guys are right. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to take them, but we have got to get these penalties under control. I think that is a big game-changing difference for us, and if we can't get it together now, when are we going to get it together? We can't wait until it's too late to finally figure it out.
And I'll kind of touch on the penalty thing too, because I was looking at a statistic earlier today, actually, that McCarthy, in all his years with Green Bay, was one of the top 5 teams in flags, right? Like at not least getting them, at least one of the top 5 least penalized teams in the league. And since he's been with Dallas, we're the most penalized. So that can't be a coaching thing, you know what I mean?
No, that was one of those funny things that I'm getting background noise. Do we have background noise? Is it me?
It might be me.
Oh. I hope. Watch. All right. No worries. It went away. It went away, whatever it was. But yeah, the penalties is a problem. I don't know why, and to your point, because I made that comment before when McCarthy was with the Packers, they were always one of the least penalized team. You come to Dallas, and now all of a sudden they're the most penalized. It's got to be something with Dallas. It's just like the Raiders back in the day. Something with Dallas. You talk about Jerry Jones and Goodell, and Jerry sued him, and is there some stuff in there? There's subjective calls, so how do you kind of prove it one way or the other? But some of the penalties, I will say, Dallas can avoid. The pre-snap penalties, that's on them. The CD one where he's lined up off sides and then he has to step back. That's a big penalty. Now, the referee told him to go back and then he moved, so it didn't help. It didn't help the cause, but those mental errors, we should have been there in the first place. But when I look at the Lions, I just don't know if they're ready for prime time. I mean, they've had some nice wins, but then they've had some weird losses. They got beat up by the Bears.
Chicago,
the Packers. Yeah.
But we lost to the Cardinals, so I guess anything is possible, any given Sunday.
That's one. I'll go down the list of Detroit, and I can probably name more than one.
It feels like they've won some games they shouldn't have, and they've lost some games they should have won. And so they remind me a lot of Philly this year.
No, to
Well,
your point, I think that's it.
I think the
We're
big
getting a
thing
lot
is
of noise. I'm sorry, Sammy. I think something's
Here, then I will just let you guys
okay.
go. I'm so sorry.
I'm
for
sorry.
the
That's
noise.
not
All righty.
You're okay. Thanks for having
All
me,
righty.
guys. Have a
Hey,
good
thanks
night.
for jumping on.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
No,
it was only when she was listening, when she was talking, it was clear. So I apologize.
Yeah.
That'd be a
I
microphone
think
too.
that I just think that with Detroit, man, they do pose a threat. They got some playmakers, Laporta, their tight end. He's a guy that's dangerous that we're gonna have to watch. Obviously, their running backs, both of their running backs are great, but
They do have the dual
I mean, the
threat.
Cowboys just play different at home.
They do.
And they do. I mean, you see the way that they play at home versus the way they play on the road. I don't really know why. Mike McCarthy obviously doesn't seem to know why.
It
But
feels
I
like
mean, they
it's
just
an
play
energy
different.
thing. That's honestly what it feels like. Like when you just see like the things on the sounds from sounds of the sideline that you see with our team, the talking and the smiles and the energy and the camaraderie that's going on. I don't see that today. We don't see as much of the sideline, obviously, when we watch away games.
Yeah.
But from what I do see, it just seems like a lot of still sitting, waiting to go back onto the field more than that energy and that camaraderie, kind of like I was talking about earlier with, what I want Micah to bring us on the sidelines. So I feel like that's only our road issue is energy.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Now you look at the Detroit defense. I mean, they've been scrappy. I mean, do you see them stopping, slowing down? I mean, Dallas is averaging pretty close to 40 points a game at home. And I mean, do you think in order for Detroit to win, it's going to have to be a shootout, or do you think Detroit's defense can slow Dallas down?
I can't see him slowing. No, so I've got, I couldn't see him slowing it down. 28 points would be, a minimum, I think. So if they've got to score 30 to win, I would say that's pretty much a shootout. You were talking about playing better at home, except for one player who hasn't played a lot this season. Chuma Edoga, I don't know if he's playing better on the road at home anywhere. There were talk earlier in the season about Tyron Smith. I would still be looking at that. If it's one more game, if it is another game, I don't know where Tyron.
Yeah, they said Tyron's got a shot to play. And Hankins has a shot to play this week. We'll
I was going to say,
goes.
Hankins, we need him back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Tyron, I'd almost put in bubble wrap and just wait for the playoffs. I don't know. And just roll the dice.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, we got 2 more games, man, and obviously, I think that this Detroit game is a game that we can win. I saw. I think it was Tuck that put it out that said just rest him to the playoffs, rest Tyron Smith to the playoffs. I might actually be one of those guys that thinks we do, because the thing about Tyron Smith is when he is playing and he's healthy, man. I mean, this year he has played outstanding. I mean, top wherever you want to put him, top 3, top 5 left tackles in all of football in terms of how good he's been playing. So a healthy Tyron Smith is key, because I'm going to be honest, I don't want to see Chuma out there against any of these playoff teams in the playoffs, man. Not after that shit I've seen against Miami, man.
Mike pulled out the blown cover or the blown assignment, where he literally just steps away from the blocking person. If he's got some set where there's a running back, I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, he looks at Chubb, and turns away from him.
It turns away. I was like,
I said, "There's no way."
Imagine if our quarterback gets hurt.
No way. I mean, I'm sorry, man. If I was Mike McCarthy, I'd have made his ass walk home from Miami after seeing that. Walk your ass home, man.
Like Landry just said, what if Dak gets blown up right in the back and it's like a strip sack? I mean, that could have been a lot worse than it was.
You're responsible. You're left tackle. That's the blind side. You're responsible for the blind side of your quarterback, and you're letting a dude come in unblocked.
Vacated.
And I mean, even if for some wild reason Chuma thinks that Pollard's back there, do you think Pollard's going to be able to stop Chubb coming at full speed? Because
and if he doesn't, he doesn't
out and even deter him. Like, it was that was one of the worst. That was one of the worst plays I've seen by our offensive line, and I've seen a lot of them this year with Terrence Steele. But that one was bad. That was bad. So,
I got a question for you guys real quick while we're on the O-line, because I noticed we when we did get rid of when we waived Rashawn Evans, we went ahead and moved up Matt Willetsko. Do you think that was just to fill the Evans spot, or do you think Matt Willetsko is fixing to get any kind of look at along the line, maybe at left guard with somebody going to left tackle, or like someone in the comments just said, I believe Camber said Asim Richards at left tackle.
I like Richards and Willetsko. He's been a kind of a favorite, right? He's and I don't think he sees a field unless people get hurt. I mean, at the end of the day, the line has played pretty well. You know, when Tyron's in there, they've been together most of the year. I mean, a lot of people give Tyron, you know, some crap, but he signed a very team-friendly deal that was incentive-based on playing time. So it's not like, hey, this guy's costing us $30 million for this left tackle. No, he's not. And we knew that he's going to miss some games. What I want is Tyron in the playoffs. If Tyron's in the playoffs, I don't care about anything else. So that's what I'm saying is I wouldn't risk anything. If you want to put Richards out at left tackle and give him a shot or however way they want to do it, I'm fine with it. But if you're going to do that, then obviously I think our coordinator's smart enough to scheme and make sure that, you know, he doesn't put Dak in harm's way. The one thing I'd say with Pollard that he's done better than I thought was in pass protection. So if I give him any kudos for that.
Yeah, admit too bad. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting game. But the highlight really and why all the Cowboys Nation's there, and we're going to have a special Jimmy Johnson tribute show tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, and we've got guests galore. We've got special cameo appearances by former players and coaches that sent messages to Jimmy Johnson, you know, through our show and stuff like that. So we've got a fun show planned. But let's talk about just quickly Jimmy Johnson at halftime. I know this is long overdue, and we've kind of said that Jimmy Johnson, this was a curse, and there was a groundswell. And the thing I would say, you know, to your guys' point, Nick's was really big on it. I know Tuck talked about it a lot. We all kind of started the talk of like Jimmy Johnson needs to get in there, but Jerry listens, because the one thing he even said, he goes, when I announced DeMarcus Ware in the Ring of Honor, I was surprised the reaction. And it wasn't that anyone disliked DeMarcus Ware being in the Ring of Honor. I mean, the guy deserves it, but everyone believes that Jimmy Johnson needed to be in there, and to put someone else before him was kind of like a slap in the face of, hey, this is never going to happen. So Jimmy Johnson going to the Ring of Honor, it's one of my great thrills of being there. I actually saw him get put in the Ring of Honor in Miami for the Hurricanes, so this is like a double treat for me. But just share your thoughts, guys, you first, and then Kelly, obviously. Share your thoughts on this night, this evening, and really what it could mean for the Cowboys from an energy level as well.
Yeah, on the curse lifting, you know, the curse lifting kind of thing, I think it's just a bit of a healing. It's just something coming full circle for really my entire Cowboys fandom, right? Because I'm essentially becoming a Cowboys fan. Super Bowl 27, you know, at a Super Bowl party, 52-17, and I'm hooked. And those are my first memories. And then to watch him get treated the way he did over and people, Cowboys fans, even among themselves, you know, over the years, over why it happened or who did what, or people upset at Jerry because of what they don't know happened to Jimmy, and it just really feels like it can put a lot of that talk to bed.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you think, Jimmy?
Well, you know what I think.
You're Jimmy. You got to be happy.
you know what I think, buddy. I tell people all the time. People say, you know, when I'm wearing Jimmy and I'm walking around, you know, you're going to the Ring of Honor, and all I can say is about time. You know, I think Jerry somewhere always knew he would. I would like to think that. I think when we saw him talk, I don't know what game it was, but Jimmy was calling the game, and so we saw a little clip of him and Jerry kind of meet. You know, it looked like they hadn't seen each other in a while. A little handshake. Yeah, a couple weeks before Carolina, and I think that plus some fan talk kind of put the spark under Jerry's butt. Yeah. And I'm glad it did. It's going to be a great night. I don't know if it's going to lift a curse, but it's going to lift a heavy weight.
Well, damn it, I'm going to hope it does. I'm taking anything I can get.
Yeah. You know, Jimmy broke apart when they announced his Hall of Fame induction on TV. I think it took him a little more by surprise than he was even expecting against Carolina. We didn't see that full on emotion. Yeah. But that night we're going to see it. I don't know how Jimmy's even going to speak.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Kelly, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those people that kind of, I don't necessarily know that I believe that it's a curse, but it can't hurt, right? I mean, I am kind of superstitious. I do wear the same jersey until they lose and then change that shit up. And I like to try to I have traditions that I do on game day that I try to keep to and stick to those traditions. And if I don't do them and they lose, I feel like it was my fault sometimes. So I try to get a little bit away from that and try to like not beat myself up and be so too down on myself about those things. But Jimmy, you know, I think Jimmy brings a big portion of this fan base together, because I think there's a very large portion of this fan base that literally started being Cowboys fans back in the 90s when Jimmy was in his, you know, Jimmy started bringing this team around and the Cowboys were in their heyday. So I think there's a large portion of this fan base that is brought together as one because of Jimmy. I mean, he's what brought us to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, because he's responsible for it. I mean, let's face it, man. And, you know, and can give Jerry his kudos too, because, you know, Jerry was the one that brought Jimmy to the fold, but it took the both of them working together. And then to see that relationship fall apart and for all these years, you know, they can say that, you know, they've always respected each other and all this stuff, but there was some obvious animosity between the two of them. And there were some things said by Jimmy, there was some things said by Jerry. There's things said on both sides of that spectrum, and we all saw it. And, you know, I think all of us, it kind of broke us up a little bit. It's kind of like watching your parents fight, man. You're like, come on, guys, like, you got to get along, man. Like, you know, this thing don't work without you too. So I feel like that this is going to bring some healing to Cowboys Nation, because Jimmy belongs there, and he should have been there a long damn time ago. And I think that, you know, better late than never, right? And the fact that we're going to be able to, you know, witness that, be in the house when that happens, and to see that, and that this Cowboys team is also a good team, you know, in the playoffs already with, you know, with Super Bowl aspirations. Who knows what could do? Who knows where this may catapult them to?
No,
you know
it could light a spark that could last for a few weeks, which is exactly how many weeks we need.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, because, you know, you're at that time of the season where all you need is a few games, man. We're getting to the point where all you need is a few wins, string together a few wins, and this thing could end up, you know, ending your season in Las Vegas. And that's what we all want, and that's what we all hope for. So I just, you know, I think that more than anything, I do think it's a lot of healing for Cowboys Nation to be able to finally put this behind us and say, hey, Jimmy it is in his rightful place at AT&T Stadium, and that's in the Ring of Honor.
That's good. And I'll just get this out real quick. Probably, you know, I know you're getting close to that, or I don't know when you guys can wrap this up, but I'll get to this real quick just before we move on from it, because I'm a big Jimmy advocate, right? So since I'm here, I got to say, a lot of people forget what Jimmy because we talk about the greats of the game, we talk about how they innovated, how they changed the game, right? What Jimmy did, making one of the boldest moves, saying, you know, I'm going to trade this player and I'm going to get all these picks, and people are going, why? You're this college coach that's going to come in and you think you're going to do something miraculous. And so we trade great players and just get a bunch of draft picks for it. What Jimmy did with those draft picks and the way he built that team, it forced the league to put money into scouting, talent scouting. So, you know, it did innovate and change the game on how we look and evaluate and find talent, and how much deeper we go into talent. When he brought in these guys that people were going, yeah, these are players, but they're not going to be this team. And then he made them the best team in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
He innovated the game in that way. So I just wanted to shout my guy out.
No, absolutely. It's you know, you have the draft picks and what you do with them. And I tell you, the only thing I'll say, I don't want to go too long on it, because we're going to have a full show with it tomorrow.
Sure.
Anyone who's listening, I don't self-promote too much. Kelly and I did an interview with Coach Dave Campo and Moose Johnston.
Oh, awesome.
Watch both of those, and that'll teach you and get you to understand everything you need to know about Jimmy Johnson, what he meant to the team, what he meant to the coaching staff, what he meant to the organization, and what he meant to the Cowboys as being the team of the 90s, because there is no team of the 90s without it. It's in Dave Campo's video, which we'll play tomorrow. There's no Ring of Honor without Jimmy Johnson in it.
No.
You know, you can't. I mean, what he did what he meant. People forget the Cowboys were heading way, way south, and they were losing money. Mm-hmm. And you know, Jerry bought them with a lot of debt and a lot of this and a lot of that, and they had to turn it around. But Jimmy Johnson, that's where the problem started. Jerry was so focused on getting the team profitable, right, getting his money back.
Yeah.
Jimmy was kind of left alone to do everything he needed to do. And then when it kind of, you know, they started getting to the top, that's when Jerry wanted to jump in and kind of get some of the flowers and stuff. And that's where his
face a little more.
That's where it started. Jimmy Johnson has a big ego. I mean, he's just as guilty as Jerry in it. But you do yourself a favor. I'm not trying to self-promote. Go watch Coach Dave Campo and Moose Johnson. You guys, if you haven't seen it, that'll educate you so much on it. But it's going to be a fun night. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. And I, can't wait to talk about it more tomorrow and share some stories.
I do Mike Tag promote, and I'm still going to tell you to go watch those episodes. They're good, So.
Well, because I had to apologize to Jimmy Johnson, and since you're Jimmy and you're dressed like him, and you can see over that shoulder or this shoulder, whatever shoulder it is, I got a Jimmy Johnson picture, and he's wearing the jacket. When Jimmy Johnson got hired, I wrote a letter to Jerry Jones, and I let him have it as a 12-year-old kid or wherever old I was at that time, 13. And because of the way Tom Landry was as a kid, I mean, Tom Landry was everything, right? He had the hat, had all the stuff. And I, thank God there's a reason why I sit here, and there's a reason why I'm not a coach on the football field or an owner, because it was the best decision the Cowboys ever made, doing that. So I'm thankful for it. We got the 3 Super Bowls. I know all the haters want to say we hadn't won one in 30 years. I remember all 3 of them that I saw, and I'll dust off the rings. I'll do whatever I want. And ain't nobody, the Eagles ain't caught us yet. They win 1, and now all of a sudden, all their Super Bowl matters with no timeline. Now it's been how many years has it been? Is there a timeline on theirs?
I don't know, Mike. I always tell people, man, Super Bowl championships, they ain't lunch meat. Ain't no expiration date on it. Stop fucking acting like they do, man. I hate it when people sit there and tell me that they're old, and I say, you know what, listen, I've seen 3 in my lifetime. And I asked somebody, I said, how many of you seen it in your lifetime? And unless you're, and most people can't say that unless they're like a Patriots fan or, a Steelers fan.
That's what I mean.
Some of those fan bases, but like literally 90% of NFL fan bases cannot tell me that they've seen 3. And it don't matter how long it was ago. The fact is, you still haven't seen that many. We got 5 total. I've seen 3. So
yeah,
I mean, it's special, man, no matter how long it is, because I can promise you right now, Eagles fans in 2057, when they're still stuck at 1, are going to talk about the one they won in 2017.
Shit, they're talking about the one they won in the 30s. They're trying to get that when they're 8 teams in the league.
That one.
Yeah. I mean, they're sitting there. They show those damn wooden rings. The world championships before, when there was like 8 teams in the NFL and they won. They got these rings carved out of wood, and they're going to display that. Don't tell me you don't talk about old rings.
Oh man, I tell you, but no, it's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Cuts by Jones says he can make them wood rings for y'all.
That's what we need. Nice. Well, Cuts by Jones, we're going to get into it. I don't know if Fred wants to join into this, but we do predictions. I need you guys to be ready. But there's an added prediction, and I wish I would have put it on the screen. We've got a championship going on this weekend. We got the Cowboys Cave Fantasy Football Championship. We got Kelly K9 against EJ Savage going for the ring, going for what I don't know if Cuts by Jones is still holding his end of the bargain. It's supposed to be a custom Cowboys Cave cut that's going to be done for the fantasy football champion. So there's a lot at stake. So what I need in the chat, and I'm going to need from you guys as we go through predictions, I need to know this game. We always do the Cowboys, Lions. What we want to know is, give us a bold prediction with your score. But more importantly, I want to know who's going to win the Cowboy Cave Fantasy Football Championship as well. And we always start with our guests. So, Jimmy, you could take it first.
Who's going to win the Cave Bowl? So I'll just ask real quick. Do you know your 2 receivers and EJ's 2 receivers?
Well, I can look that up real quick.
Okay,
I know I've got a pretty good squad here, but EJ's got a really good squad too.
As much as I like my guy EJ, I'm going to go with Kelly on this one. Kelly's going to take the ball home. I'm going to give you a little bit of love there, Kelly.
All right, man.
As far as my prediction for the Lions Cowboys, like I said, I think the energy is going to be too high. I think it's going to be too much emotion. I think if we get a jump on them, which we usually do at home against teams, our offense usually starts out pretty hot. It could get ugly fast. They're going to be as good as they are running. It wouldn't be smart to not load the box and make Goff beat us. They're not just loaded at wide receiver. They've got a couple of good.
St. Brown, he's good.
He's really good. So I've bold prediction. I'm going to say Micah walks the walk since he's been talking the talk. I'm going to give him 3. He's only had 1 3-sack game in his career. This is going to be one at home. He's going to do it he's going to see the history unfold in front of his face. Jimmy, all the legends. We all know he wants to be legendary status. So I'm going to go, we win. I'll go score. I'll go 34-20. And I'll say Micah gets 3 sacks as a 3-sack game.
I like it. Now let me give you some help on Kelly. I pulled up the roster, and I don't know if Kelly wants to help. Kelly's running backs are Bijan, and I hate to say this, he's got Gibbs. I don't know.
I'm taking EJ just to be on the other side of it.
And then EJ's got Connor and Williams. You guys aren't. Well, he's not running back heavy. You got Keenan Allen, Flowers. How the hell did you guys make the championship? I'm reading. C.J. Stroud's your quarterback. He's got Allen. I don't know. The roster makes me think that I might go with EJ. But go ahead, Lane.
You got some stout receivers for sure. You got Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown. But I'm going to say Hurts don't do nothing. AJ Brown don't get shit against Arizona this week.
Sorry, Landry. Go ahead.
No, not at all. On the Cowboys lines, I'm going to go 30-17. On the win, most of the reasons that we've already covered, but a bold prediction: if Tyron Smith is back, I don't know what Tony Pollard's high is for the year, but he'll have that in the area of 130 plus to show everybody he can still run the ball. Because honestly, I've liked the way he personally has looked in the way he's made cuts and so forth in the past few weeks. I think he has looked better. A little bit of continuity, a little bit of determination of running the football. Yeah, 130 plus, whatever would be a season high. We'll go with that.
Nice.
Hopefully everybody will feel a little better.
Good. Kelly, you want to pick your own winner or no? You got to think you're.
Already know I'm gonna say I'm gonna win. EJ's gonna win. I'm winning that shit. I got the Super Bowl ring, and I'm here. I'll be around. I'll just pick up the cut from Jones and take it home next week.
Gonna make it easy.
I'll be all right. I'm already here, man. So I'll just go ahead and get it. But and I seen Mark in the chat that said his roster was way better. Listen, for those of y'all that don't know the story behind it, Mark took all Dallas Cowboys players, current or former. He's got like Amari Cooper, he's got Jalen Tolbert, he's got Turpin. Like he took the whole Cowboys. He did win 5 games though. He beat me. He won 5 games, but yeah, he struggled a little bit this year. So Mark, I'm sorry, but yeah, I think he said he didn't even come in last. So that's
Jimmy came in last. That's why he got off the show real quick. He knew we were going to be talking about him.
Jimmy D came in last. So, yeah, no, I've got but as far as the Detroit game, I've got Cowboys 38, Detroit 24. I think as far as a bold prediction for this game, let's see. There's going to be a lot of stars in the house, man. So everybody's going to want to show out. Micah's going to want to, but my boy Jimmy already here said a 3-sack game from Micah, so I'm going to have to go a different route. You know what? Why not, man? I'm going to say Deron Bland has 2 interceptions, one of them for a pick 6.
Yeah.
For a pick 6. 2 picks, 1 pick 6.
Ooh.
No, that's I'll take that. Now, my prediction for fantasy football, I love EJ, but I'm never going to go against my brother in the Cowboys cave. We got to keep it within the family. So I think Kelly's going to handle the business. I just hope that Gibbs doesn't make any impact. I hope maybe you got a backup.
No, I almost put him on the bench.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. But like Uncle Cheech always says, you gotta go you always go for the wins. You gotta take your emotions out of it. So don't do anything crazy. But just real quick before I go on the fantasy football, it's a fun thing. We took our little crew in the Cowboys cave, and then we just picked some fans and subscribers. So we're gonna do the same thing next year. We'll get some, maybe a fresh round in. The defending champion stays. So if EJ wins, you gotta have an opportunity to defend your title.
Absolutely,
so we'll do that. But we had it was a great time with it. The guys at the Fantasy Football Show ran it. So what was that?
We'll play next year if there's a
spot open. No, absolutely. We'll definitely work something out. It's a good time. We get a little championship ring and cuts by Jones. Give him a shout out. Does amazing work. If you guys don't know, you better ask somebody. But he does awesome work. So you definitely need to get that for your cave. But looking at the game, I think Cowboys, this is just, all signs point to a Cowboys big win. I think it's going to be 34-20. I think you're going to have there are so many Cowboys from the 90s that are going to be there. It's going to be star-studded. Aikman's calling the game. Michael Irvin's going to be there.
Wow.
Emmett's going to be there. I saw Campo's there. I know a lot of the coaches are going to be there, a lot of the players. So there's going to be a lot of pressure for this team to perform. And I think the player that is going to put up the biggest numbers, this may not be bold, whatever you want to call it, but CeeDee Lamb is gonna throw up over 200. He's gonna have over 200 yards receiving. He's gonna be coming back. I want to say Pollard. I've said Pollard for the last 2 weeks, and it hasn't worked. So I'm not doing Pollard no more. So I hope you're right with Pollard, because I really want to see this running game get going. But I think this is a game for Dak and CD. I think it's going to be a big game. I think Dallas is going to win big. I think they're going to kind of get their momentum going in the playoffs. And I think my other bold prediction outside of this game is I think Arizona beats Philly and Philly.
Yeah, I hope. I think you're right, man. Honestly, dude, Philly's been walking this tightrope, man. They got lucky as hell that they did not get beat by. I mean, it literally was a last minute drive. It was a last gasp effort for them not to lose to a backup quarterback. Again, 2 weeks in a row could have been backup quarterbacks. But a backup in Seattle, he beat him. Then the backup for the backup of the Giants almost beat him. So look, Philly's not playing good right now. And I don't care what anybody says about.
And I know EJ's saying they're playing in Philly. Philly's playing not so great at home either. I mean, the Giants. The Giants should have beat them. Giants should have beat them.
Home or the road, they're just not playing good, man. Jalen Hurts is not playing good. That offense. Look, remember at the beginning of the season when I said that new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, I said is going to be a problem. Not to mention the starters they lost on that defense. And now you're starting to see it because, dude, Philly won a lot of games on luck this year. And I hate to say that because it makes me sound bitter because I'm a Cowboys fan and I hate Philly.
Bitter.
Knows it, but it's the truth. They've survived on a lot of luck. They've gotten a lot of calls that have went their way. They've got a lot of bounces that went their way. I mean, we should have beat them. Buffalo should have beat them. I mean, I can rattle off the name of teams that should have beat Philly that they got lucky and they won. But at the end of the day, the record is what it is. But I agree with you, Mike. I think they're going to lose this week in Arizona. So
I think we got a shot for the division. We're going to get into that more too as the season goes on. We want to focus on the line. So there was a question about the jersey I got. I got this at the pro shop in Dallas at AT&T, and I will tell you, it was a hell of a lot cheaper than the Tony Dorsett one. So if that gives you any idea, if you know how much that Tony Dorsett one is, this was a third of the price. So I love my Aikman one. I had an Aikman one. I had the old original one from his rookie year, and for some reason I misplaced it. I don't know whatever happened to it, so I was glad to get an Aikman back. So it's nice. Throwbacks always they never go out of style. So. But anyway, so I digress. So everyone's got Cowboys winning. We feel good. We're flying out. You guys are going to be there, of course, representing. We're going to be hanging out at the Des Bryant tailgate. I'm telling you guys, $10. I know someone said, Jesus, $300. It's $10 to get you in the door. If you want to meet him, you got to pay a little bit more money. But he signs it. He takes pictures with people even outside of that. So I would just say is it was a fun time. We're all going to be there. Make sure you guys definitely, if you're Cowboys Nation, hit Kelly and I up, hit the Star We Are up, hit us up, man, because we're going to be out there representing and hoping that. I think this is going to be such a star-studded event, not only for the Cowboy players, but I think for the social media community. I just think
Cowboys content creators. We got fans. We got people flying in from overseas. We got Frank Mueller flying in from Germany, baby.
Germany, just for the game. Just for the game.
Frank, I just want to let Frank know I prepped my liver all week long for this game. So I know how Frank liked to drink, so I'm ready, baby. I'm ready.
I've been drinking the heavy dark beer just to try and get that high alcohol content to try and do.
I'm over here at Fred's house. We're pre-gaming right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. But appreciate you guys, man. We love having you on and really love all the content you guys do. And like I said, you give yourself a plug again of where they can find you. More importantly, another shout out to the great fundraiser you're doing and giveaway. That I think it's a great cause for sure.
For sure, yeah. So, like I said, I lost a game of Madden to Wanye, and so our deal was to do a little raffle for a charity of his choice. He hasn't chosen yet, so we'll see where the money's going to go to. But I'm sure he'll pick a great cause. So yeah, it's $8 an entry. The prize is going to be a Troy Aikman classic 1994 throwback Mr. Lynette jersey. It's going to be a ball signed by current players, most of them. I think he said it was going to be the whole team on the DM, so it should have a lot of players in that ball. It's going to be a great ball, and he added $1,000 to whoever wins. So somebody's just going.
So all that's going to one winner. Winner take all, or is there
somebody's big?
The jersey, the ball, the grand.
Now I bought some tickets. I mean, I'm not telling you to maybe scoop mine to the top or you can be sympathetic to the cause or something like that. But I'm only kidding. But yeah, no, it's a great cause.
Where Kelly was talking about getting in on one of yours, we could have excluded ourselves from this, but Sam said, "Well, I'm getting jealous now about the time Wanye's like, yeah, throw in $1,000 too." So.
yeah, we were like,
that's awesome.
Can we get a ticket too? Or but
well,
no,
hey,
so
I just want to let you guys know, man. I'm gonna actually tonight, man. I'm gonna get your information on where to send the money to. I got to get a couple of tickets, man.
Yeah, so it's Cash App or Venmo, and it's the Star We Are. You'll find it. You'll see our logo. You'll see it's really easy. We got.
All right, I'm getting a couple of tickets tonight.
$8 an entry. Only 10 entries per person because we don't want somebody just buying them all up. Trying to get them. So 10 per entry.
Well, there goes my plan. There goes my plan. I'll go buy. I was gonna go ahead and just like, you know what? I'm gonna win this thing. Let's go ahead and buy 100 of them.
And then of course, and then just a little bit about us. It's for fans by fans, right? That's what we promote. That's what we hashtag. Sometimes our teams don't represent us the way we should. Guys like you are diehards. We do this because we're passionate about it. We want to see our team do great, not only on the field but off. We get attached to these players and these people, and that's what they are as people. And they're fans just like us too. They grew up watching football and loving it. That's why they play it. So we started a for fans by fans agenda, and that's what we try to do. We try to send people to games when we can, raise money to be able to do more giveaways, give away signed memorabilia, things like that. And so we love the fan engagement. We love this team, and that's where we're at.
That's awesome.
No, it's awesome, and now Mark has said if he wins, he just wants the money. So he went ahead and he said, I want to give Mike Tag. If Mark wins, he wants to give me the ball. And he wants to give Kelly the jersey. So that's what he said. We'll very generous, Mark. Very generous. And anyone else who wins,
appreciate you.
We take donations. But it's such a cool thing. And I love the charity stuff and helping others. So I think it's definitely a great cause. And for him, he seems like just such a cool guy. Interacts a lot on social media.
I've seen other stuff from him. He's awesome.
Yeah. So I think it's really good. But definitely appreciate you guys hopping into the cave. It was a lot of fun. We look forward to hanging out with you guys on Saturday. It's gonna be a fun night. It's gonna be a fun night. So definitely appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you so much. And Kelly, you're hanging out with Cuts by Jones. I hadn't seen a cameo from him yet. Is he hiding? Are the cops there? Are we in trouble? Last time he had the cops there.
Hold on, man. The police the police aren't here. He's been refilling my mug all night, man. He's out here refilling the mugs.
Nice.
What's up, brothers? Hope everyone being good, being safe, man. Great show as always. Thank you very much for Kelly coming by and doing the Cowboys cave up in here. I got a neighbor over here. He's all like, man, it's some cool ass stuff, man. I'm like, yeah. Hey, I know people, man.
I want. Listen, you guys are riding together. It's like Dumb and Dumber on a road trip. No offense, but I want a video. I want a diary of your trip. I want to make sure you guys. We got to make a video of this thing. We got to cut it up. I want all the stories.
Hey, when we stop at Buc-ee's and everything else,
do a video blog.
I want a video. I want a step by step. I want you guys to follow along on YouTube, man. I want us to know what you're doing.
I'm bringing my nephew, and he was in the chat a minute ago. He popped up in the chat, man. My nephew Lucas is coming to his first ever Cowboys game. He's never been to a Cowboys game, so I got him tickets for Christmas. And he's gonna get to meet all you guys, man. And he has no idea what's coming this weekend, man. But he's gonna have a great time. He's gonna be, mind blown, man. I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have a great time. So but thanks guys for showing up tonight, man. Everybody in the chat,
man. Y'all be good, be safe.
Yep. And thanks for you guys showing up. And Jimmy, man, hey, listen, man, you got to brush up on them Madden skills, bro. I need to see you. I need to see you practicing, man. I mean, brush up on them skills. I know it's a hard thing out there, man. When with these online gamers, it's a hard business, man.
I got a PS5. I used to play. I was actually pretty decent back in the day, and I got to pat myself or toot my own horn. But my son worked me over, so J Tuck wanted to play me, and I said, "Yeah, I got to practice." So I've been practicing. Yeah. I'm off all week. I got my offense figured out. The passing game was a problem for me. I was throwing a lot of picks. I can run the rock like no other. If Tony Pollard could run like he runs for me in Madden, I get 180 a game out of him. I could run. I just got to work on the passing. But I'm gonna get it right, and hopefully I get to play you guys. I know there's some other people I was gonna play, but it's gonna be fun. It's good. Maybe we'll have a Cowboys Cave Madden tournament.
Hey, I just bought Madden 24, man. I'm gonna start brushing up on the skills. It's been a minute, but I'm ready to jump back in.
So, hey, everyone in the chat, thank you so much. If you guys are still hanging with us, make sure you hit that like button. I want to see all these likes because it helps us. Make sure you subscribe. We've got our giveaway. Like I said, we get to that 3,000 subscriber. We're giving away Bob Lilly, the GOAT, a Funko Pop signed with all the inscriptions of all of his accomplishments and everything with the Dallas Cowboys. So definitely you guys want to win that. And then, of course, last but not least, I mean, hopefully you had some of this under your Christmas tree. Made some Cowboys Cave T-shirts from Tag and K9. Hopefully you guys got that under your tree to make you feel a little bit better about what happened Christmas Eve. If you didn't, still time to go. Twisted Gorilla. Use the code word Cowboys Cave. You get 15% off not only our shirt, but everything. And they got great stuff. So definitely check that out. But we'll leave you with the hype video. Hopefully we're going to drop a nice hype video before the game. Jimmy Johnson, I mean, it would be no better. So hopefully
we'll
get
one
that
after
rolling.
the game.
And then after the game, a little victory. So it's going to be good. So you guys, thank you so much for joining. Kelly, drive safe. You guys have a good time heading up. Make sure you give me a holler when you guys get there. And we'll see you guys, everyone in the chat. Thank you. Tune in tomorrow night, same time, Jimmy Johnson tribute. We got a lot of people popping in, a lot of guests. So you don't want to miss it. Take care.
Outstanding, guys.
I just want to tell you, I promise you this above all else. I am now going to be more obnoxious, more overbearing, and I'm going to make you all learn to love it because you'll have no choice. You understand that, Eagles fans? You guys are through. You're finished.